Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go the Cash App, $ Deem by any means. There go the PayPal at Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated. Hey y'all, y'all know when I started off talking about I want to start something near and dear to my heart. Y'all already know it's gonna be a good one. Now, want to talk about an upcoming star, man, and that I'm just wild by. Um, every time I watch the young man fight, he makes me realize why I love boxing the way I do. It make me want to get back to just the breakdowns of boxing because when we're at his level right now, you don't really care where somebody's signed and trying to get the big fights and who been calling people out for years. They're not even on that stratosphere yet, but you could see it manifesting. And I remember having this same feeling, this airy same feeling about a fighter named Gervonta Tank Davis about 10 years ago, y'all. And if you've been following my channel, you heard the story about how Gervonta Davis became my favorite fighter. All thanks to having one of the best friends a man could ask for. Shout out to my Brody, whose name would never be said on this channel. Shout out to my Brody. And I feel the same way about the one and only Abdullah Mason, y'all. He's primed for greatness. This young man right here is primed for greatness. Mark my words. Some people become great. I believe somebody like a Earl Spence, somebody like a Sean Porter, um, somebody else I could think of that I put somebody I think like a Marvin Hagler. Like the things that made them great weren't like physical attributes all the way. They weren't the fastest, they weren't the strongest, they weren't the best footwork or best defense, a lot of different things. But they became great at what they do and mastered it. And that's how they've made a legacy and a name for themselves. But then I think it's other fighters like Muhammad Ali, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, Abdullah Mason. They was just born this way. They parents put them in the right place, in the right sport, at the right time, and everything just some things are just meant to be. Abdullah Mason was meant to be. You got Gervonta Davis on top of the world. Who's going to be next? There's always a next, y'all. Don't never forget I told you that. It's always a next. There's always, listen, man, people having babies every day. There will be another LeBron James. There will be somebody better than him that comes along eventually. I know y'all hate or Jordan or it's going to be somebody that even if they're not better than them, you're going to talk about them in that capacity. There's going to be another young man that comes into the NBA that starts shooting like Steph Curry and starting to break records and have you talking about him and Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, Elk. You understand what I'm saying? Um, Abdullah Mason, besides experience, has everything. What you mean by that, Dean? Footwork, defense, effective aggression, ring generalship. He has it all, man. He has a jab. He has a straight. He goes to the body. He's good with the uppercuts. He has great footwork. He switches from time to time. He sidesteps you the way Lomachenko does from time to time. And this kid is only 20 years old. He's a kid, man. Young man. I ain't even call him a kid because I ain't that much older than him to be calling him no kid. But he's a young man coming into himself. But I just think that he has the things I look for that make me really get behind the fighter. He has all of it. So y'all, I am a fan of Abdullah Mason, not because of his name, not because of anything. I didn't know anything about this young man. His skills made me a fan. And this is what people talk about when people get behind you, and that certain things just speak for themselves. Talent speaks for itself. Dean, why did you like Gervonta Davis so much? Because the first time I saw him, I haven't seen explosion or footwork like that or aggression like that or just a mean streak like that since Mike Tyson. And I know what Mike Tyson became. You understand? Abdullah Mason is like how I feel like Jerron Ennis is the next Roy Jones Jr. I feel like Abdullah Mason is truly, and this is a high honor, Abdullah, I'm about to give you, man, but you just remind me of this person. I feel like Abdullah Mason is the next Sugar Ray Robinson. If Sugar Ray Robinson was a fighter today, he would fight similar to an Abdullah Mason. Deem, how you know that? Because Deem love boxing and y'all don't. I do my research on fighters that I'm interested in. I'm not a historian in the fact of like people that existed then that I'm not that aware of, or like I didn't probably care that much about. That's their fault that, for whatever reasons that kids of my generation get named never got really mentioned or whatever. But the people that I've actually been interested in, let's take Muhammad Ali, for example. It ain't too many people that can have a Muhammad Ali debate with me. I know a lot about the man. I done did school projects on the man. I done read books on the man. I done watched documentaries on the man. I done watched every published fight that he has on YouTube of the man. I was watching fights with my parents on ESPN Classics. If everybody knows I'm not lying, I was watching the fights of the man on ESPN Classic. Who was he fighting with? Bob Arum. Where is Bob Arum at? Never mind. So you got to understand, y'all, man, when it comes to people that I like I keep telling people, y'all, it ain't been a major fight that has happened in the last 25 years that I have not seen. Not one. Not one of them. You can name whatever the fight is that has happened in the last 25 years. Deem has seen it, observed it, been in the room, talked about it, the whole nine prior to it ever since I was a child. And growing up in Philadelphia has had that effect because in Philly, that's what everybody into. You either gonna play basketball, you gonna box, you gonna gangbang, or you gonna be not even gangbangers. We don't got gangs here, but like you gonna be in the streets, or you gonna go to school and stay out the way and get an education, because Philly is the one place that I don't let dudes slide with. I had to live this life and all of that. I don't care how bad your situation was. It's not too many people, and not to give y'all too much history on myself, it ain't too many people that's had a harder struggle than me. And I don't even like comparing my struggles to other people's struggles. But if I told you my story, you would probably cry. So you have that much more respect for Deem. I promise you would. Like you would have a whole different level of respect for me. Like how you still this? How you still like this? You got that much? Don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. But at the end of the day, Abdullah Mason, man, could be the next Sugar Ray Robinson to me. With that aggression, with that speed, with just that pure athleticism, with that footwork, with that relentlessness, most of all, with that calm, humble swag, but you just know it's a monster behind the shield. And that's how highly I think of Abdullah Mason, and it has nothing to do with what everybody else is talking about. People only talking about the young man because of his skills, man. And that's what it should be about. That's what boxing should be standing on. That should be the pillars of boxing, that I could look at somebody and become a fan of them. No way, no different than I did with Xander Zayas. That's my guy. I love Xander Zayas. That is my guy, man. I know he didn't have the best performance his last fight, but it wasn't bad. And when you up and coming like he is, and you've been running through everything, you're going to get those. Every fighter get those. I don't care. Name your favorite fighter. He's had fights like that, like where he still dominate, but you know what I'm saying? It leaves stuff to be desired, and that's okay. But skills is what make me fans of fighters first. Not all of these narratives, not everything that y'all be trying to swing out here. I just think Abdullah Mason. No, I'm not even going to say I think. I know Abdullah Mason is the next superstar in boxing. It's the timing that he came in. Think about it, y'all. Look at his weight division that he's in. Then look at his age. Right. Then look at what he weighed in his last fight. And if you do all of those researches, you'll understand where I'm going with this. Abdullah Mason probably will see the 154 division one day. Abdullah Mason might be a 4, 5, 6 time six division champion. He has the body frame to do it. That's the difference between Abdullah. Abdullah Mason is a big lightweight, a huge lightweight at 20. He's huge. So at 21, at 21, he may still stay at lightweight, but at 22, be at 140. 23 at 140. 24 might stay at 140, then go up to 147. 25, 147. 26, 147. 27, 127. Then he gets up there, y'all, in what you call your prime. 154. Here you go. 28, 29, 30, 154. He might go all the way up to 160. That boy win all of those, win championships at all of those divisions. What else could you say about the man? That is Terrence Crawford elk, ain't it? And that's what I see for the young man, a potential undisputed champ. But I know if I forget the undisputeds, I know the young man to definitely be a multi-divisional champion, though. You don't have to be undisputed. You could. It depends. All depends on how your career turns out. You don't have to be undisputed to be your resume to be amazing and be a multi-division champions and all of that stuff. You don't have to do it that way. You can build your legacy by moving up different weight classes, like Manny Pacquiao did. You could build your legacy just doing that, like Roberto Duran did. That's all you got to do. You can also. That's another route you can also take. David Benavidez can never be undisputed, but if he go all the way up to heavyweight and win a championship, David Benavidez is one of the best fighters of all time. You understand what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason, whatever route he chooses, I don't care when it comes to that. What I do know is pay-per-view attraction. What I do know is he's going to be the next big name at this sport. And if he's not, it ain't going to have nothing to do with skill set or because somebody beat him. It's just going to be maybe because he don't talk enough. Same thing Geronin is suffering from. But guess what? But the thing is, Geron, his name wasn't buzzing the way that Abdullah Mason's name is buzzing currently today. It's about when he was born. Abdullah Mason is becoming a star and getting eyes put on him in the midst of when boxing on YouTube and on different platforms is at its highest right now. So he's going to be the beneficiary of all of those. Him, Xander Zayas, Carmel Moulton, people like that, Kid Austin, Keyshawn Davis, all of these guys are going to benefit from that. They're benefiting from that literally at this moment. Floyd Schofield and been on having interviews every other week. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Dean, by any means. And I'll holla at y'all.